which project we are going to use. Right, it's in the chat box. You can open it up. So, okay, let's get started with. So, let me share my screen first. I hope it's visible. And say this is the project we are going to get started with. So it's basic e-commerce kind of thing. It's not good with UI UX, I know, but let's get started with because we're not going to focus on UI UX. We are going to focus on learning this file structure and how to fetch everything. Okay, how to fetch the data and what is file routing and everything, and what is server-side rendering, static rendering, and SSG. All right. So it's the product list is over here, and when you click on individual product, it will open up like this. All right. So let's get started with. Also, I shared the repo link. Open up the app, and we are going to focus on these things. All right. So if you are confused in any other, like any of the code, you can get started with here also. Right?
Rushit, can you just start the recording?
Kunal Bhaiya is recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. So let's just create a folder. Let's just name it KT. Okay. And what I'm going to do is go to this KT. Right. So it's nothing inside. Now let's create a Next.js application with just npx create next app. So I'll tell you about the Next.js in a bit. First, we'll set up the application. So I'll just name it as my app only. It's this. Okay. We are going to use TypeScript. Also, ESLint is something like it will give you the overview of your project speed and all. So we're going to take that as well. We'll use Tailwind CSS as well. We don't want src directory. I'll show you the overview in a bit. Let's just get started with. And we want app router. This is the latest Next.js feature. So we'll learn that only. And we don't want default alias. So yes, that's it. So now it's getting installed, right? So meanwhile, let me talk about Next.js. Like, why do we need Next.js? What's wrong with React.js? Because we all know that in React we don't have this routing thing, right? So if I want to go to something like products, all right, okay, I have to really first install the React router, and then a whole setup of React router is there. So we have to skip. We can directly skip that part, and we have routing part over here. There are many more features other than routing as well. Since we'll start with that, and I'll show you in a bit. Okay. So I'll just cd my app. I'll do code dot to open it in VS Code. Okay. So this is how our overview of Next.js application looks like. I'll just draw it in a bit. So,
Rushit,
yes.
just like zoom in on the terminal and like zoom in on the VS Code also, because like quality is not that good coming, so like not readable.
Okay. Okay.
एक
Is
बार
it
like
good?
टर्मिनल पे तुमने जो कमांड्स डाले हैं वो भी दिखा दो, ठीक है, जूम करके.
हाँ हाँ तो zoom में टाइगर ये थोड़ा बुरा है hmm, to zoom it over here it will be a little task so if I do have to zoom I have to really change and edit Hmm. Okay just I'll do it again inside this let me remove this my app okay that's what we have created I'll do it in VS Code instead okay so there is nothing called that uh, I'll just code dot again right so what I've done I've created a KT folder and I've opened it in VS Code only I'll just close off everything and inside here is it visible now like
Yeah, it's visible.
okay create next tab okay so this is the command to create a Next.js application all right so we'll execute it I'll name it now as e-commerce let's name it as e-commerce okay the project is taken my bad so commerce app. Okay so we are going to use TypeScript over here I'll click on enter to select yes okay ESLint I want ESLint as well also we want tailwind CSS so we'll hit enter we don't want src directory so we'll go with no and we want app router so we want app router so I'll go with yes so also we don't want allies so we won't need that okay so the basic app is initialized as you can see over here commerce app and it has these many folders in it I'll explain them in a bit okay so first let me show you the common first what I did I went to the commerce app directory itself okay and when I go to npm run dev it will start the development server for me it's 3001 let me close this one all right we start it again so it will be inside your localhost 3000 so when you go to the uh, your browser and search for localhost 3000 it will pop up to you like this okay so this is how you can initialize your Next.js project all right so what is this app.next your public node modules and everything in it so node modules we know we have been through a lot of this so node modules are just modules pre-written code right so we have always ignored that all right Uh, inside public, it doesn't have anything like two SVGs, so that doesn't count. So inside the application, this is the main part of our project. So the page.tsx, what is it? It is the localhost 3000 or whatever your landing page is your uh, page.tsx of app directory. All right. So it has this pre-written code over here. I'll just delete it. Right. I'll just do hello world. Okay. As you can see, the pre-written code was gone and the UI is changed over here. But as you can see, the background is still black. I have to change it as well. So I'll go to global.css and we'll remove everything, every single style. Yeah. Right. This I won't remove because it's Tailwind styles and we are going to use Tailwind. So yeah, as you can see, the um, all default style is gone, all default landing page is gone, and we have a landing page on page.tsx. So what is layout.tsx? Okay, so layout is your all over, you can say cover up kind of thing. Like in React, if you worked on React, you must know that we did have this index.jsx file. The layout is kind of like this. All right. And in layout, we have this title, and we can also add some metadata over here, as we used to do in head. All right. So in layout tier.tsx, we have this wrapping around kind of thing. So let me just quickly overview with that. So we have this HTML tag, yeah, inside this body tag, and this is children over here, right? So what are these children? Inside of any app, inside of any app directory, any file we have as page.tsx or any other file, it is considered as the children in layout.tsx. All right. So I'll show you with examples and we'll get started with that. Okay. So public folder is nothing. It's just the two SVGs are there. Other than that, there are next config. All right. And other than that, there is Tailwind config is there. All right. So we are going to use them in a bit to demonstrate the image tag, image component that we are going to use later. All right. So we'll start with that. And page.tsx, as I said, when I go to this localhost 3000, it is our server. All right. So when I go to this localhost 3000, we'll end up in the home page. All right. So if I have to change the title and everything over here, I can change with e-commerce if I open that. So I've written e-commerce, I've saved it, and as you can see over here, it's changed as e-commerce. So layout.tsx, as I said, is your HTML/HTML kind of thing. It will wrap all of your application and will show like the uh, body and HTML tag as well as header. You can manage the head tag as well. All right. And if you have something like something like just a nav bar and footer, which we show in every single page, so we'll just add on over here, and let's say it is header of the file. Wait a minute. Div. Okay. So inside, as you can see, the header is added. It is not coming from page.tsx, all right? Right? It is coming from layout.tsx. So as I said, whenever you are using like something common components such as navbar and footer, you can directly add them into layout.tsx. All right. So this is the basic overview. This is just like the CSS and all. The part I liked about Next.13 is like when you press enter to the Tailwind part, it is like pre-initialized and you don't have to initialize it by yourself. So that's cool. Other than that, yeah, so we'll start with the routing part, file-based routing, which is like a really important part for the today's KT. So initially what we used to do is we will in Next.js 12, and I said Next.js 12, all right? Currently we are on 13, all right? And I'll teach you 13, all right? But I'm talking about Next.js 12. So what we used to do is we would create a pages folder, all right? Pages, and inside, if I write about.tsx, all right? And I'll do a React functional component, all right? and I'll just capitalize it. All right. And oh, we don't need this. Right. So after creating pages folder and about.tsx inside the pages folder, when I will go to /about, okay, this is some error, /about, error. I'll see. Okay. .tsx, right? Okay, so I'll write about. Okay, so it's working now. Whenever we used to go to pages, we'll first create this pages directory inside our commerce app. All right, and then whatever file that we are creating over here, we can directly call them as slash and then file name, and we'll pop into that. All right. So whatever content we are writing inside here, it will be shared in /about. So the main agenda of that was like we are currently on pages, a pages folder. Like, all right. When I go to localhost 3000, it will show me the pages of this. But like initially it was pages, and inside there was another page.tsx file. So in the beginning, it was like we are currently on pages directory, and whatever path you give, as I like give /about. So localhost 3000 is in page directory. You can assume it as that. All right, and /about is your file address. Right. So if I want to create something as product, right? So I've created another folder products, and then I have to declare another products.tsx. All right, and I'll do React functional component over here as well. You capitalize this thing. Right, and products. So now the products file path is your /products /products and /product. All right. So I'll just change it to product. I'll just rename it product. We'll give it as product. Okay. So the basic agenda is you have to give the path of your file name. All right. This is the basic agenda. Now in Next.js 13, we don't use these pages anymore. So what we are doing over here is just inside this app component, we are doing everything. All right. So I'll just delete these pages. As I told you, it was Next.js 12, which used to do this pages component, but now we are not using it. So we'll just delete it. All right. So how we are doing this routing thing inside the app component. All right. So in Next.js 13, in Next.js 12, as I told you that we initially were at pages directory. In Next.js 13, we are initially at the app directory. So whatever you do, give your path according to the directory of the new directory you create. Okay. So I'll just show you. Suppose I want to create about page of our application. So what I'll do, I'll create an about directory. All right. Inside about directory, I'll do page.tsx. All right. This is important. We are not going to do about.tsx. All right. This is not the case. I'll show you in a bit. Okay. Let me show you first the about.tsx. So if I go to slash about, it won't work. If you say slash about, right, it won't work as well. But if I name it as page.tsx, right, and inside here, I'll just change it page and we'll remove this, right, and welcome from about, right. So if I go to slash about now, yeah, we are getting this welcome from about from the about page. Now what I've done over here, inside the app directory, I've created another directory named about, all right, which is going to be our route, all right. And inside the about, I've created this page.tsx file. That is important to give the name as page.tsx. You can't give any random name over here because it is like Next.js configured thing. So we can't use our name over here. We can use our name at directory level, but not at file level. All right. So now we have end up in the slash about route. And as you can see this header over here, this header is not coming from here. It's not coming from here. It's coming from layout.tsx. All right. So layout, as I told you, that layout.tsx will override every single thing, whatever we write inside this app directory. All right. So what we have learned so far is the basic routing thing, right? So I'll show you another routing technique which we use. So suppose you have this login route, all right? Inside the login, I'll do page.tsx, all right? And RFC, react function component, and I'll capitalize this thing. All right, and I'll say login right over here. All right, and we have another route as auth route, authentication route, right? Auth. And inside here we'll have page.tsx and RFC here as well. And we use capitalize this page and auth. All right. So what I've done, I've created two routes, auth and login. So initially they are doing the same thing, which is verifying the client or verifying the user. All right. But as you can see, there's auth, all right? Auth is that, and this is login. All right. So their main agenda is to verify the client, whichever is coming over the application. So Next.js 13 has this really cool thing where you can create a directory with round brackets, and if I give any name, verification, if I give, right? And if I put auth over here, yes, and login over here, right? So we have, okay, login is inside the verification. Yes. So now what I've done, I've created a verification directory with round brackets over it. All right. And now I have this auth and login page. All right. So in auth, we don't need to React. All right. Also from here as well. So inside verification, we have this auth route and this login route. All right. So now I'll show you how does it works. So localhost 3000 it is. And now if I go to slash auth, I'll be able to get this auth route. All right. So we don't have to do now this verification, and then slash auth. So it is just going to throw the error. All right. So slash auth will work. So it is for our clarity that, hey, I want this verification thing over in one directory. and this directory will have auth and login functionalities. All right. So this is how it works. And yes, we can get started with this only. I'll I'll show you the API that we are going to use. All right. It's over here. And if I just go to page.tsx, uh, yeah, here it is. This is the API that we are going to use. So it's just dummy JSON API that will provide you the e-commerce thing and will provide you products and the details of the products, images and thumbnail and everything, description as well. So this is the API that we are going to use for today's project. All right, and I'll share this link to the Google Meet. You can raise your hand if you have any doubt, so I would have the notification, right? Also, we are going to use this Hyper UI to style our application. We are not going to create it from scratch because it's going to take a lot of time and you guys will get bored eventually. I don't want to make you bored. So is there any doubt so far? If you have any doubts, you can raise your hand. Okay. So we have done a great job so far. We have discovered the routing techniques. And now I want my data to come over here at page.ts. So I want the UI of something like right. So it's in the 3001 localhost. All right. So I want this kind of UI where I have two products on my home page. All right. These products are coming from server side only. All right. These are not coming like a static product I've given. They are coming from server side only. I'll show you in a bit how you can create this kind of thing. So first I'll inside this hyper UI, we'll do where was it? Commerce. Mm, right. Inside this something else. Toggle vertical menu, side menu select. Arch is that. I forgot where was it. Breadcrumbs moving the edges, alert, pagination, right menu. No. Oh, here it is. So inside this hyper UI, go to this featured section. Inside we have this cool UI. So when you press on view, all right, it will show you the code, entire code of it. And when you press on HTML, it will show you the JSX format. And we are going to use the JSX format because it is accepted by this framework, right? So we're just going to copy it. Just copy it, right? We're going to paste it over here. All right. Check for the errors. I don't have any error right now. We'll go to localhost 3000, and yes, it's showing us the entire application, entire thing, right? Now I want to style the navbar and footer. We'll just use it from here only. All right. So for navigation, I'm going to use this navbar. Okay, here it is. So when you go to Hyper UI, you'll have to go for the navigation. All right, here it is, the navigation component. So when you press on navigation component, go for the last number. We are going to use the last number. Press on view again. Press on HTML again to get the JSX format. Copy this and just we are going to use. We'll see the navbar is we are going to use as component. So whatever thing we are using again and again, we are going to make them as the component of the folder. So I'll create a directory named as component. All right. Inside this component, we'll do navbar.tsx. All right. And rfc. We'll capitalize this thing. Navbar. All right. And I'll just paste the code. All right. Since navbar, we are going to use it in every single page of our application. We are just going to import it in layout. All right, as I told you over here, we have done this header thing. So we'll import navbar from @components/navbar. Okay, and I'm just going to type navbar over here. Right. So yeah, it's showing us this navbar. It's really minimalistic, so I liked it. All right. So far, any doubts? I guess. All right. Also, we are going to use the footer. The footer. Yeah, here it is, footer. And just going to use some easy to use footer as it won't contain any of the functionalities. Okay. We have copied the code of footer. All right. And inside this component, we are going to use footer.tsx and rfc for the React functional component. All right. And we'll just paste it over here. Footer and /footer is over here. So again, footer, we are going to use it in every single page of our application. So if I now go to /about, we still have our navbar over here because we have imported it in layout.tsx and it's going to override any of these children component. All right. So now we'll also add this footer. Right. So it's automatically imported and the footer is already over here. Right. If I go to our landing page, it is there. Right. Okay, cool. So now we are going to import our data from the API that we are going to use. So I'll use this fetch method. You're going to criticize me for the fetch method, but I'll tell you why I'm using the fetch method. All right. So I'll just copy this link and I'll say const response equal to fetch, and inside the we are going to use the API. All right. Now, let me tell you one thing. Just let me just comment it out. All right. And let me just console log something real quick. Console log, let's say hello world. So according to you, it would be over here, right? Inside this, our home page and inside the console of it. But surprisingly, it's not over here. Your hello world is not getting printed over here. I'm getting some warnings. But see, the hello world is not getting printed over here. Then where is it getting printed? It is getting printed over here inside your server. So in Next.js 13, we have initialized the rendering method to server-side rendering. All right. So whatever you do, it is going to render at the server side first, which is in case our localhost 3000. So it will be rendered at our server. All right. It will be rendered at our server, and then it will go as the rendered page, which will contain the all the things HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it will go to our home page. All right. So instead of so suppose that if I don't want it to be rendered over the server side. So what I'll do, I'll just write use client over here. All right. And now you have your hello world printed over here. So now your page is rendering at the client side. All right. So as I said, don't get confused over here. So initially Next.js 13 is going to adapt server-side rendering by default. All right. So if you want to change this thing, just go ahead and type use client to make it a client-side rendering. All right. So this thing is executed at the client side. So it's printed over here. If I remove this, it is going to execute on the server side, and it will be printed over here. Nice. You guys got the point? Right? Any doubts about that? Okay. Great. Okay. So as I said, this function is getting rendered at the server side. Now I want to fetch this data out, right? So what I'll do, I'll create this entire function an async function. All right. This home thing and everything will be an async function. So what I'll do, I'll just write this async thing ahead of this function. All right. So now this whole entire function is an asynchronous function, which is going to executed by line thing. All right. And what I'm going to use is I'll wait for this API to be fetched and store it in this response variable. Now I'll create another variable named as data, which will going to parse this JSON thing, and I have to write await in front of this as well. All right. And now let me just console log this data. Right. So yeah, we have this data over here. All right. Every single thing is over. All right. So what we have done so far, we have understood server-side rendering, which is super easy for Next.js 13, and Next.js 12 we have to do this weird syntax where get static props and get server-side params and everything. But in Next.js 13, we don't have this thing to worry about. It's just automatically being rendered, all right, on the server side. What we are going to use over here is two products. As I told you, we are going to create this UI. So inside this, we have this iPhone 10 and this Samsung Universe 9, whatever it is. So we have these two products over here. By clicking, I don't think so it will work. We'll make it work with the actual project that we are building. All right. So I want these two products. So I'll set this product and I'll do this as limit equal to 2. Let's see how it gets. All right. So by applying this, I haven't done it in my here. I've done it in different way. I've called two APIs, but because I didn't know that they have this limit kind of thing. But anyways, when you pass this query as limit equal to 2, it will just render two components. All right. And we can just directly get this product thing out of this data. So I'll do data.products. All right. See, I have now these two products. All right. It's an array of object. All right. This is the first object, which is I can see iPhone 9. It is, and this second object it is iPhone 10. All right. So these two things we have got so far. All right. And I'll store it in the product variable data.products. All right. And I'll quickly console log this because it's we are going to need it further. So as I said, right, the products are printed out over here. So we are going to use these two products, right? See, for this is the watches, and this is the description over here. What is this thing? Disclose. Okay, so this is the watches and description over here. We have to change these two things, all right? And we'll do it over here. Here it is as the sample watch and everything. Okay, so this is the basic unordered list, and it has two list items over here. So I'll remove one item because we are going to learn this map method. All right. Okay, so now we have just one item over here. So what I want is whatever we are getting in this product, I want it to be printed out. I want it to be seen over here. So what I'll do, as I told you, that product is an array of object. As you can see, it's an array of two objects. So what I'll do, I can map over this two items or like map over this entire array. So this two item will be individually executed. All right. So what I'll do is inside this UI component, we are going to use date product dot just name is products, right? And products dot map, right? So inside it, we are going to pass product as a as a parameter. Now we have to specify the type over here. I'll just do any and it will work, I guess. Any. All right. And also inside in map, we have to pass in as a key called as index. All right. Index. What is index? It is just the number, like the first element and the second element. That's all we have to pass. All right. And now I'll put this li element inside our map function. All right. Okay, there is some issue over here. I have to return it. Okay, I think, yeah. So what I've done so far, we have this array of object. I've mapped over this array of object, and I have passed the parameter as product and index. So what is this index? As I told you, for two products, the first product will have index of 1. The second product will have index of 2. That's it. Index is just basic numbering of the mapped object, mapped array. All right. It's functionality of JavaScript. You can use it further. And product is your individual product, all right? Individual item of the array. So first product is going to be your this object, this object, and second product is going to be your this object. All right. So I'll show you in a bit how it is being managed. All right. So For image, we are going to use product.thumbnail. Product.thumbnail. All right, and it should be changed. All right. So how did I got this product.thumbnail? Because inside our data, there is this thing called as thumbnail. All right. So its thumbnail is nothing but the URL of this image over here. All right. So it is there. And for the product.title, we'll have a title. We'll have the name of our product. All right. In this case, it's iPhone 9. In this case, it's iPhone 10. And product.price will have a price. Is going to get us our price. All right. So as far I've told you how you can fetch the data inside the server side, how you can map over this data, and how you can show it onto the browser by just individually evoking these individual array elements. All right. So that's all for the home page, I guess. All right. Is there any doubt? Where is this Google? Is there any doubts? You guys got it? Just show a quick thumbs up or anything so I can get started ahead. Okay. Subhashri, any doubt or like, okay, you got it. All right. So far we have completed our landing page. All right. But this landing page initially is rendered at the server side. So what if I want to use as a static page? All right, what is static page? I'll tell you in a terms like this. Okay, uh, just throw the error, but let me just try to build it. npm run build. Okay, key prop element image. Okay, so let me just modify this code. So whenever we map on any of this array, we have to pass the parent element as a key. Key as an index. Okay, what index we are using over here, we have to pass it as index. And Next.js is telling me to use its image component rather than this img. All right. So I'll use this image component, import image from next image. So this image component is really cool. You can really learn about this image component inside this Next.js documentary. So okay, so instead of this img, I'll use image, and the source will be there. And but you have to also give some width and uh, height to make it work. So I've given it as 300, 300. Hello, what happened? I guess I went out of the meet, I guess. Okay, where was I? Can you guys tell me? Hello, hello.
You were importing the images.
Oh, okay. So yeah. See the image component I've imported over here. All right. And inside, I've given the source and width and height over here. So now I've started the development server. Right, my Wi-Fi is getting switched again and again. All right. So inside over here, we have this home. Okay. So it's showing me to use i.domain.json as a configuration. All right. So if you go to my repo, you will also see that we have this next config.js, and inside we have to provide something as images domain. All right. So it's really necessary for us to provide images domains, and inside for if you are using particular next image component to make it more efficient. All right. So what I've done, I've copied this images and domains and everything, and I'll just paste it over this next config. All right. So in our case, we are using this i.domain.json.com, whatever it is, and we are using this domain, so we have to specify it over the configuration. All right. We are also using some places Unsplash. All right. We are also using Unsplash at some places. So I've given it as that as well. All right. So now if I reload this thing, it should be gone. All right. So there it is. Wow. And we are successfully using the next image component. Okay. The components and the page.ts. Right. Yes. So far we have done all right. After that, I want you to show that if I do npm run build, okay. So as you can see, this 404 is a static page already. All right. So for Next.js, what Next.js is doing over here, it's converting this whole page into the static page and then load it into the server side. All right. So what I'm trying to say is, inside you won't be able to see any of this image path or any of this thing, right? Uh, as you can see, it's product.thumbnail. I've passed over here, right? Product.price and product.title over here. But if I go to this .next, which is a development build file for us, and server and app, inside our index.html, I guess. Yes. All right. So in the inside our index.html, which is our home page. This is the basic home page rendered files for our home page. All right. So inside here, the src is given an image and this whole dummy.json and file over here. All right. Also, if you go to something else, this is the second image, right? All right. So what is happening here? All right. Let me just close it and show it to you. So what Next.js is doing over here is when I pass this map function and when I pass this data over here, and when I did npm run build, it automatically built a static page for me. Now, what is the static page? Whatever you do, like if you are using some, let's say about, all right? In about, we are not fetching any data. We are not doing anything as dynamic over here, right? there is no data coming every single time, or there is nothing like this. All right. So this is a static page, static HTML CSS page, which we are used to it. All right. But inside, I fetched the data, as you can see over here. I fetched the data, all right. But still, it's showing me as a static page. And this is the actual feature of Next.js 13, where every page you do, if you don't specify it to be a dynamic page, it would automatically go as static page. All right. So this is the feature of our Next.js 13. Right? It is clear to everyone what is static page, what is dynamic page. I'll explain you in a bit. That if I go to any random pages and it is not provoking or importing any other data from API, all right, it's a static page. Suppose that if I go to my portfolio over here, let me just go to GitHub. All right, suppose it's a to-do list, okay? Whatever it is, to-do list, it is there. And I'm assigning some tasks. So it is not going anywhere out of the, out of this front end part. There is no backend connected to it. All right, if I reload it, it will be gone. All right, but so this is the static page. All right, but inside I've called this API and fetch the data. So it's a dynamic page. But what's happening over here is the data when I press the npm run build, all right, what it will do, it will create a static page for me, and it will prefetch this to data, and it will create a static page for me to increase the performance. All right. Okay, that's it. And so we have done so far is understood what is static page. All right. We have also imported the data. All right. I've showed you how you can map the imported data. All right. This all we are going to use in our projects, which we are going to use like website reall and Taskmaster. If you are in that project, and you are surely going to use these kind of things. All right. So after this, let's create a products page which will have the all products available for us, like the list of the products. All right. So for this, I'll create a directory name as products. All right. Inside the products, as you all know, you have to do page.tsx. All right. And I'll do a React functional component over here. And we'll do as products page. So when so now if I go to /product, I must be, okay, I didn't start the development server. Okay. What happened? Yaro ducts. What is the issue? Right. So I'll do rm thing. And I've given it a wrong name. As you can see, I've given it as pages.tsx, which I have to do page.tsx, right? So as you can see, you have to give a specific page name to it. All right. If you don't give the page name to it, it won't work. All right. It's showing us an error. Let's write it again. Let's see. Right. Page. Right. It's working. Right. Page, and also I'll do product. So the product page is a product route is ready. Now what we have to do is to create the product page. Product page. Right? Also, I want to create a route when you click on this show all, it should throw me at /products page. Okay. So for that, I'll go to page.tsx over here and shop all. This href is hashtag. I'll change this to /product. Right. So now whenever I click on shop all, it will throw me on products page. All right. So we are going to use products over here. So let me just show you product collection, and we are going to use this one. So I'll go to view, convert into the JSX, and we'll copy it. All right. And inside the products page.tsx, I'll paste it. Okay. So yeah, showing us this products. All right. Also, the hyper UI that we are using is all built in for Tailwind. So if you are using Tailwind, it's a really great tool. You can use it for designing, like quick designs are there, right? So what I'll do right now, I'll import the entire products. All right. So before that, I have just imported 2 products, but now I want all of these products. All right. So what I'll do is response equal to let's say fetch, and then we have this API. All right. Also, I have to create make this function asynchronous, and for that, I'll just improvise this thing. Export default function, and we have page over here. Also, I'll remove this arrow function over here, and we are going to make this function asynchronous to fetch the data. So because it's asynchronous, I have to also use this await. All right. Now data is there equal to await response.json. So it will pass the JSON format that it's coming. All right. And we'll console log this data. So yeah, as you can see, this data is coming over here, and I haven't defined it as a client side, so it's coming onto the server side. All right. Now this entire data I'll show you. Right. So it has a total of, it has products in it. So it will have around 30 products, I guess. Yeah, there are 30 products that we are getting, and that is some total, skip, and limit over here. All right. So we want this product to be used. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll store this data into the products variable as data.product. Right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this product, and I'll show you guys. So now we only have the products over here, not the other things. All right. So there are all products over here. There is nothing total and limit and anything over here. So it's an array of object that we have used previously, and we are going to use it again. All right. So as you can see, I have this unordered list. which is containing list element as of these product cards. All right. So I'll just change them. I'll delete the rest of the LIs. Okay. So now we have just one card over here. And what we are going to do is we are going to map over this array of object, which is products. All right. So products.map, and we will then have this single product type, which will have the type of any, and index. So also I'm giving any type, and it will be an arrow function, and which is going to return this list element, list item. Sorry. Just paste it over here. I don't know, my prettier thing is not working. Extension is not working, so I have to do it manually. Okay, so now you can see we have 30 products on our array. All right, but this data is not dynamic enough. So we have to make it dynamic. For that, we have to do nothing but like just change this image. Also, we'll just use this next image only, import image from next image, and inside this img image, source is going to be product.thumbnail. Thumbnail. All right. This is going to be product.title. Title. And this is going to be product.price. Price. And in an image component of Next.js, it's really important for us to give the width and height. So I'll give width as 300 and height as 300. Height as 300. Right? So it should be working for us now. See, our products are loaded with their name and the price. And the price, right? In pounds and whatever, but we can deal with it. All right. So yeah, it looks goofy, but that's all we got from dummy API. All right. So what we have done so far, we have called the entire products API, and I've mapped over this products API and showed the result. This is the basics of front end, and we are going to use it in our projects a lot. All right, whether it is a taskmaster or a website rehaul, we are going to use it when we are going to set up with Sanity. I didn't use Sanity today because it would be really complicated for beginners to understand. All right, so yeah, image is there and everything is configured. Now, let's build this one. What I'm going to do is npm run build. I hope it doesn't throw any error. Okay, how can you throw an error? Okay, so I forgot to give key again. I'll do index. So it's really important to pass key as an index whenever you are mapping the data. Right? So we'll do npm run build again. Okay, so as you can see, this hollow round, it represents the static page. All right, but in this products page, we don't want it to be a static page as it is too large. Okay, we want it to be a page where whenever user enters over here, it should be fetching the data instead of like showing the static page, all right? So, like you can also modify these products, right? So whenever you modify it, you have to again build it and again, um, host it, and that's really janky. So instead, you can use all we have to do is make it dynamic, all right? So in Next, this feature is only available in Next.js 13, all right? Whenever you use fetch, use this, and inside, what we are going to we are going to do cache, all right? And what we are going to do is no store. Okay, this thing, what is going to do cache and no store? It is not going to make this page static. That's all. That's all your server side rendering is. That's all. SSR and SSG, the terms are now just like this 3 lines of code. All right. So let me just build it again. We'll show you something. All right. So now you can see this slash product route sign is changed from holo circle to sigma. All right. Whatever it is, I forgot the name. Lambda, I guess. Yeah. So the server side renders at runtime, get initial props or get server side props. Okay. These we used to do before this thing came up, cache and all. All right. So now in Next.js 13, we all have to write this bunch of code and your page is server side rendered. All right. So server side rendering is really easy and you can really catch up to it. Now, why we want it to be server side rendered? Okay. Because your entire app will slow down just because of this page, right? And this SEO and everything everything, the gradings will be down because the entire page is going to load every single data, all right, and it's going to take a lot of time. Instead, what we are doing over here, we are rendering in the entire data, all right, onto the server, and then then we are invoking the data over here, all right. So it's that simple. Okay. So what we have done so far, we have now implemented server side rendering. Now Next.js has another really cool thing. So let me show you something. Uh, this npm run dev. Okay. So whenever I get click to show all, it will just reload this thing and it will take some time to catch up with this data coming up. All right. Let me show you this again. So it will load, right? So in Next.js 13, we have another thing is loading.tsx. TSX. All right. What you can do over here is just I'll type loading, all right, and capitalize this thing. Okay. So now you can see we have this loading thing coming up. Okay, I'll just reload it. Loading. As you can see, it's coming from really microsecond of time. All right. So what what is it doing? Okay. So loading is as per the name suggests, it waits for the fetch for the API, and within that time, this loading.txx will be rendered, and it will show you this loading screen. All right, there it is, the loading. Okay, so it is it for now. Products page is ready. All right. Is there any doubts over here? Okay. If you have any doubts, you can just raise your hand and show me something. Okay. So I'll start with the kitty. ahead. All right. So what we have done so far, we have implemented server-side rendering. Okay. Uh, for our products page, we have built a static page with the API call. Now, as of you have seen Amazon and Flipkart, they have this functionality. When you click on this cards, it will open up to a separate page. All right. So that is called as dynamic routing. All right. What is dynamic routing? I'll show you. Okay. So for individual product page, let me just create a product directory. All right. Inside a product directory, I'll use square brackets and we'll say ID. All right. ID. All product ID. All right. So this product directory, inside we have product ID directory covered inside the square bracket. Inside the product ID directory, I'll do page.tsx and RAFC over here. Capitalize the page and we'll say singular product. Right? So now whenever I go to slash product slash anything, it will throw me a singular product. Right? So even if I type one or slash product slash anything, so localhost 3000 slash product slash like you can have a product ID over here, unique ID for each of these products to specify that singular product. So suppose I'm writing 1237 and this whole bunch of code is given. All right. So it will throw me to the singular product page, which is our singular product page over here, right? And now we are going to build this singular product page. And how can you get this ID out of the query? All right, this is the HTTP basic request, and it will have this query over here. So how can you get this out here? So inside this dynamic route, we will have the param. All right. So whatever ID that we are getting over here, it will be automatically come as a prop inside this page. All right. So we have to in TypeScript we have to do this. And ID print. So this is the TypeScript thing, right? If you are using JavaScript, you just have to write this params and it will work for you. So in TypeScript, we have to define this type. So I will define params as an object. All right, over here it's an object, and inside param, inside this object, we have key name ID, and we'll give it a string. But in Next.js 13, we don't have to write it as ID. We have to write it as product ID. All right. Whatever we are writing over here as a dynamic route, we have to name it as that only. All right. So now what I'll do, I'll just print out this param not product ID. All right. Hopefully it should be working. Yeah, it's working. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay. Okay, sorry, it was a little bit disturbance over there. Okay, so whatever we are passing over here as a ID, it will be printed over here. So as per the node, like whatever parameters you are passing over after this product thing, it is a parameter of the we are fetching out this parameter inside this params and product ID. All right. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. So as I said, we are now fetching whatever query that we are having over the HTTP request, and we are displaying it over here. But we don't want it to be displayed over here, obviously. We want it to be seen as a product. All right. We have this whole data product which contains the ID. All right. So this first product will have first ID. Similarly, that 30th product will have the 30th ID. All right. And we want a specific product out of this ID. All right. So what we'll do, after this product ID has appeared, we are going to fetch the data. Const s equal to fetch this. Okay. I don't want that. And slash. So this API is providing us to fetch the singular data as well. So we are going to use that. And params dot product ID. Right? And we are going to make this an asynchronous function. So use this export default function page. And we'll clear out the equal to sign. Right? And it's going to be a async function. All right. So it's an async function now, and we'll wait for the data to come over here. And then as a data, we'll parse the data. All right. And we'll also wait for this. Okay. And I'll quickly console log this data to see what's the data over here is all about. All right. So if I go to slash product slash one, but yeah, it is. So slash product slash one. Okay. I do have the first product over here. All right. If I go to slash product slash two or 26 maybe, I do have the 26th product over here. Right. So now we are going, this is called as dynamic routing, where we have this product out, and inside we have this bunch of sub routes. All right. Okay. The bunch of sub routes, and they will show you the individual products. All right. So this is called as Next.js dynamic routing. All right. That's all. And we are going to display the product, and for that we are going to use this thing over this hyper UI. All right, I'm going to use this guitar version. You can use any of your preference. So I'll view, convert into JSX, copy, I don't know the drill. Okay, paste it over here. There is some comment on the top. I'll remove that. Okay. Yeah. So we have it over here, and we don't. Okay, there it is. Right. And we don't want this bottom 4 images, so I'll clear them out. Okay, div to slash div it is. this bottom 4 images are gone now. We have this top image, some description over here. This is the rating thing. I'll change it to text only. This is the price, and we don't want this whole thing. So I'm not going to build a cart for now to make it simpler. Okay. So I'll also clear out this form. Okay. Okay. So the form is gone now. All right. So we have our product as a data over here. I'll change it to product, okay, to make it easy to understand. Okay. So the product is there, and we'll use this next image to work with. Fourth image, next image, and we'll use this next image. The source of the image is going to be product dot images of 0. Okay, there is some issue over here. Let's see. Width. Okay, I can give the width and height. So 300, and height is going to be 300. You can give as per your preferences. All right. So yeah, our product is showing up. The 26 product in our API is showing up over here. As you can see, the image we have loaded. We have to also load the other data, such as the title. So product dot title. Okay, plant hanger for home, whatever it is. All right. Illustrated product, and then we have this rating thing. I'll change this thing with normal, just write the rating. I'll just remove this SVG. Okay. And inside I'll do something as rating. And in JavaScript, I'll do product dot rating. Okay, could be rating, I guess. Okay, so the rating is showing up. And for here, we are going to do product dot description. All right, product dot price will be there over here. Okay, so you must be wondering where I'm getting this product dot price and all everything. So to make you clear, guys, we'll console log the product. So whatever I'm using, title, description, price, and rating is given into our API only. So you have to thoroughly see the API and see what it is providing, and then only you can use it. So the original question is still remaining that whenever I click on these many products, I should be opening an individual product tab. All right. So this is a products page. I'll quickly hop into the product page in page.tsx. What I want is to send the request such that the individual product will go to the slash product and that product's ID. So the for iPhone 9, it would be ID of 1. So whenever I click on this iPhone 9, it should go to product/1. All right. See, cool. It's going over there. So I didn't click on that. If I want to open this iPhone 10, I have to go to product/2. All right, to open this iPhone 10. All right. So for that, in products and inside this page.tsx, there is this thing called ahref. All right. The anchor tag. We're going to do first. We are going to write the JavaScript. So slash product slash and I'll do product dot id. Okay. So we are getting product and inside this product, yeah. So it would be working for us now. Let's see. We went to shop all and I clicked on it. Yeah, it's opening up for us. Okay. Just for don't keep your attention over these images. They are really bad. No, but that's what we got from the API. So all right. So when I click on this, should be opening over here. So yeah, the basic dynamic route is explained to you. How you can give a product ID as a dynamic route. How you can fetch the parameters which are given on the query. All right, and how you can pass on to this API and get the product out of it. All right. In your case, you might do a thing called query language. All right. When you, mostly we are using Sanity and Next.js, so we are going to use some query language for this. All right, but we'll deal with that also. Okay, so now let's just do a quick npm run build and see what this file is up to. What is it? A static, dynamic? What is it? It will show us. Yeah. So /product/product ID is a dynamic page. All right. And it is a server-side rendering page. You can see it's not a static page. All right. Other than that, slash, which we use to call the API, is a static page. Okay. So as I told you guys, if you want it to be stored on the user side or client side, you just have to use client. Okay. So it was running previously on the server side. Now it will go on the client side. So usually client-side rendering is slow and really bad experience. So that's why we don't use much of the command as client-side. Okay, so there is another thing which I have to tell you guys. You can't use React hooks for this element, like for this page.tsx. All right. So if I go and import use effect from React, all right, and I'll use effect like this function, and okay. Now it will throw me the error. Okay, that you can't use effect over here. If you want to use effect, you have to specify use client at the above. All right. So if I'm going to write use client above, all right, then it should be showing us. All right, that is this something type error. Okay, so let me just use a use state, whatever it is. All right. So I'll use const data and set data. Do use state. All right, and it should be ready to go. All right. So now we'll be able to talk on this. So it's showing me the type error, and let's say it's any, maybe it will work. Okay. The type error again. Okay, wait a minute, I'll be back soon. Yeah, hello guys, sorry for the delay. Uh, so where are we? Yeah, so basically you can't use this use state or the use effect or any other hooks inside the say server side. So you have to specify this use client in terms if you want to use that. All right. So let me show you the error once again. See, you are importing components that need use state. It only works on client component, but none of its parent are marked as use client. All right. So you got this point cleared out, right? Okay. What else we want to cover? Okay. Yeah, SSG is remaining, right? So suppose that you want something in between this server side rendering and client side rendering. All right. You want, suppose you have this user data which you want to show as client side render. Okay, so first three users who want static, and then you want to like refactor them again and again. All right. So you can do it in Next.js as well. It is called SSG, which is static site generation. All right. Hello, my screen is visible, right? Hello. You guys can hear me, right? Just text me inside. Okay, okay. All right. So static site generation is another thing, which is inside this Next.js. It's just really easy for now. All right. What I'm going to do is create this. Let's create a cart. Okay. And inside this, we will create this cart ID. Cart ID. All right. And inside we have page.sx. All right. So for now, let's just create array of C and okay, we'll say cart. We'll do parameter. Let's give it a one go and ID. Cart ID going to be print. Okay, and I'll just quickly print that over here. So dot cart ID going to be printed. So whenever I go to slash cart slash my user ID would be around 4. Okay, so it will be printed. The user ID is getting printed over here. So now what I want is like I have this user 4, all right, user 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. With you can pass multiple users at the same time. The user you want to statically render, you have to pass them as array over here. I'll show you in a bit. So what is going on is like user 5, we are focusing on user 5. I want his cart to be statically rendered. All right. After this rendering, after it is statically rendered, I want to recheck it again and again that if he has done anything, like if he has modified anything or not. Like every 30 seconds, I want to check it. How am I able to do it? So in Next.js, something called as uh, I'll show you. I've created something as user, I guess, over here. Yeah, user ID, and then there is page.tsx. Okay. So in uh, inside the Next.js 13, we have something called as get static param. All right. So it is an async function. All right. Generates static params. What it's going to do, it will take the user IDs. All right, 1, 2, and 3 is the user IDs that we are having over here, and we have to return it as a map function. All right, as a map function, which is returning the ID as an object. All right, so I'll show you. Now, we can export on function generate static param. Okay, so we have to specify then this user ID. All right, it's really important. You can't use it as a infinite ID. Okay, so it is showing me this error result is not iterable. Why? Because I haven't returned this array of user IDs inside this generate static params. So this generate static params is usually as a reserved keyword, a reserved function for this Next.js. Okay, you can't write any random things over here. It's not it's not like acceptable over there. All right. So we're going to do const cart ID IDs, and we are going to do 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And after this IDs, I want to return uh, cart IDs dot map. Inside, I'm going to do cart ID. Okay, so this part is crucial. You have to use this cart ID only. Like if you are using here user ID, then you have to write here a user ID. All right, you have to return the dynamic route of it. All right, the dynamic route placeholder for it. Okay, so I'll just give it a type of any, and the index is not required, I guess. And what it will return is an object of cart ID. Right, that's it. The error should be gone. Yes, it is gone. See, the error is gone because we have returned what the Next.js was expecting from us. All right. So now let me build this thing. Run. Okay. So here you can see we used to do follow circle, then it was this lambda, and now it is filled circle. Filled circle is your static site generation, all right, and that uses cat static props. All right, so before this generate static params, we used to do get static props, which has some weird syntax, and we are not having this syntax anymore, and also we are using this generate static params. So the crucial part is this only that you have to like get this cart IDs. All right, you have to specify over them. So suppose you are having you are giving someone some admin roles, and you want to get the static data of them. So what you will do, you will just get this IDs out here. All right, you will create an array, and you'll just write this IDs over here, and it will create these routes specifically static for you. All right, and uh, it will be static, and then it is going to be dynamic as well when you fetch the data. All right, if I fetch the data of cart, I'll show you. There was like a cart as well over here. Cart, okay, cart and one. Okay, so I'll fetch the data out of here. So let me just create the function as async function. Yes, we want it to be an arrow function. All right. I'll do await in your fetch and param dot card ID. All right. So and data will be that's dot JSON. And I'll do is console log the data. Okay. Should start the development server. Okay. Now I go to card 5. Okay. Okay, I forgot to write the await in front of rest.json. Okay. Now it should be working. Fine enough. Oh yeah. So we are getting this card information of user file. Okay. All that is over here. All right. So you can fetch the data according to these IP addresses, these IDs, all right, over here, and that will be statically rendered. All right. So now it will be shown us the products is there, all right. So what I'll render is just the name of the product. I'll fonts product for the data top product, right? And I'll map over this product. Right? Type in we'll live this product. Dot title. Okay, it should be working for us now. Okay, it's not. Let's see. To pass this as index as well. We will be having when I go to cart one, what's the issue? Actually, is that this display console lock there? Here is the product stock now. Is the product is that, and this is the laptop title. It's also there. So what's the issue? Fetching the data. Let's see inside this code. Oh, okay. Something that will help. Okay. I'll just copy this code, I think, so there is some issue over my code. And mm, mm,
Hey, what's the meaning of revalidate 50?
Hello.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I guess, yeah, there was a power cut on my side. The storm is not holding back. Okay, so yeah, it's ended actually. Uh, what we are facing over is just fetch error. Okay, so all these are imported as per the part 1, 2, and 3. We can go with the dynamic out of that. Right?
Can
That's
you
it.
explain what is validate 50 in the code you have written?
Revalidate, right?
Revalidate.
Okay, so I would remove it actually. So next is going to be that and revalidate around 30. So what it's going to do is it will check the data which you have fetched and whatever compiling over here. All right. In every 30 seconds, it will revalidate the data that has come. All right, that is over the rendered page, and it will revalidate the upcoming data. So if I take it as 5, so it will revalidate the data. All right, I can't show you over here. Let me just see the time API. If I can have. Uh, right over here. Okay, so this is API, and let's see what we are getting over here. Let's forget this thing for now. And this normal div will do. Okay, and yeah, I'll try to console out this data. Okay, so now if I console go and have it as data dot date time. Okay, so after every 5 seconds, it will be changed. Let me see if it's showing over here. Yeah. So if I just refreshing it, uh, yeah, see it is changing. So in every 5 seconds, it will revalidate it, all right, and it will change, right? So that's
Yeah, yeah.
what it
Understood.
means. Yeah. So it is also a new feature of Next.js 13. It wasn't there before. And I guess I've used this fetch method because XEOs will get XEO with XEOs you can't use this revalidate or no cache anything like that. So that's why I've used fetch over there. Yes, that's it for the KT. I guess it all worked fine. Is there any doubts or something? See how many people are there. Okay. OGs are there only. I did share the repo in the group as well, right? So you can check on that as well. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
But
That
was a pretty good session.
oh, thank you very much.
I haven't seen half of the APIs you've used.
I didn't see them as well. Yesterday I started working on it. Before that, it was just power cut over here because of the storm. Like, huh? Yeah, it's fine over here. Just wind is too much. The bad situation is in Rajasthan, not here.
Oh, you're in Gujarat?
Yeah, I live in Gujarat, Surat.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like one of the KT should have been just introducing the file and folder structure.
Yeah.
The next one should have been explaining the routing and stuff.
Hmm.
This
That's why
we
I
should have.
didn't cover the API routing because it will be too much for that.
mm,
API routing will take a lot of time.
I myself haven't done API routing till now.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm. That's great. Okay. Okay. Okay.